The call came at 6:14 a.m., slicing through the gray quiet before dawn. Not a ring, a buzz, a trembling little vibration on the nightstand that felt almost apologetic. I knew the rhythm. Ops only called me before sunrise when something was wrong, but the caller ID wasn't Ops. It was her father. I answered anyway, because habit is stronger than suspicion. "Come in," he said. No greeting, no breath, just command. "Bring your badge." Badge. Not laptop, not briefcase. Badge. I felt her shift beside me, still half asleep, her hair spilling across the pillow like evidence I wasn't ready to examine. "What's wrong?" she asked. I didn't answer, because I didn't know yet, because I already knew. The ride in was quiet, highway lights smearing across the windshield in long, pale scars. His office sat high above the tarmac, a glass box overlooking a kingdom I'd kept alive for 12 years. Every flight path, every connection, routing storms, fuel restrictions, crew rotations. I knew the arteries of this airline better than my own body. He was standing when I entered, hands clasped behind him, face locked in the brittle expression of a man practicing disappointment. "My son will be taking over operations," he said, "effective immediately. 18. Couldn't spell dispatch without checking." I waited for the real reason. It hung there, unspoken, heavy enough to bend steel. Then he added, "Hand me your badge." And something inside me, something quiet, finally opened its eyes. I handed it over. Not because he deserved compliance, because I wanted both hands free to feel the weight of this moment. He didn't look satisfied. He looked defensive, as if he expected me to break. He didn't understand. I'd broken already, days ago. It started with a message I wasn't meant to see. Her phone lighting up while she showered. A name saved under one of those soft, meaningless icons, just a star. But the preview line hit with surgical precision. He's asking about the baby. Does he know? Baby. 3 years old, with my eyes. At least I thought so. When she stepped out of the bathroom, she didn't notice the shift. She never does. I'm good at quiet. I spent the next 2 days trying to breathe through the contradiction. Our son laughing in the living room, while a thought gnawed inside me like something with too many teeth. Who is asking about him? Who is he? And why did she hide the message as if it were radioactive? By the time her father fired me, the suspicion had already taken form. A shape, a pulse, a direction. And when he said, "My son does ops now," I saw the truth slide into place with a soft, rotten click. This wasn't about corporate restructuring. This was personal. This was coordinated. This was family closing ranks around a secret I wasn't supposed to touch. I didn't confront her, not then. I just watched. Watched how she flinched when I asked simple questions. Watched how she guarded her phone, screen always dimmed. Watched how her father refused to meet my eyes when we crossed paths in the hallway. I started investigating the way I handled weather systems, quietly, methodically, with no emotion wasted on what I couldn't control. DNA kit ordered, not for me, for him, our son. Swab, seal, mail. Then the records, phone logs, encrypted backups, accessing histories I'd never had a reason to check before. Her father's number appeared more than I expected. Late-night calls, short ones, bursts of panic, and one unknown number repeating over months. I traced it. Not a man her age, not a coworker, her father's son, her half-brother, 18 years old, does ops now. I felt the world tilt, slow and ugly. The boy wasn't hers, but he wasn't mine either. He wasn't even supposed to exist, some quiet scandal tucked away years ago. The woman her father never mentioned, the child he hid, the child he now pulled in front of me like a replacement part. But the message, the baby. He's asking about the baby. A half-brother asking about my son. Or, Not my son. I waited for the results. They took 4 days. Each hour was an autopsy. The email arrived at 2:11 p.m. Subject line, "Results ready." I opened it. Read once, twice, a third time, as if repetition could change the architecture of truth. Probability of paternity, 0.0%. The world didn't collapse. It organized. Everything suddenly aligned. I printed the report, folded it once, and walked into the kitchen where she was stirring pasta like it mattered. I slid the paper beside her. No words. She read it. Color drained from her face in slow, collapsing shades. "I can explain," she whispered. I shook my head. Because explanations are for accidents. This was engineering. She broke before my eyes. Tears, panic, hands trembling over the report as if she could smudge the numbers into something kinder. I stayed still. Stillness is its own kind of violence. Her father called that evening, furious, threatening lawyers, custody battles, reputational damage. I let him rage. Then I said, calmly, "Check your inbox." He paused. I heard the click of a mouse, the silence that followed. I had forwarded everything. DNA report, call logs, messages showing his hidden son contacting my wife, their conversations, their meetings, the entire architecture of his cover-up exposed. "You don't understand what you're doing," he hissed. I understand perfectly. I waited 1 beat, then delivered the final cut. "You have 20 minutes before the first planes are grounded. Tell your investors I said good luck." I didn't threaten, I informed. 12 years of routing, every connection, every path dependent on one system only I controlled, and I'd already locked him out. His breath stuttered, a man watching his empire buckle. I ended the call. Let the silence finish him. I packed slowly. A suitcase, some clothes, my son's drawings. No, the child's drawings. Not mine. Nothing else. She sat on the couch, red-eyed, whispering my name like a plea could rebuild the world she burned. I didn't look at her, because I wasn't angry anymore. Anger needs attachment. I had none left. I closed the door gently behind me. The hallway felt colder, or maybe I finally felt the temperature of the truth. As the elevator descended, I realized something simple, sharp, final. They hadn't fired me because I was replaceable. They fired me because I knew too much. And now they know what that feels like. I didn't take revenge. I took back reality.